काट के भेज दो।
You can share your current screen, Sadaf. Current screen से share कर सकते हैं. You don't need to share all the screens. Only current screen share कर सकते हैं.
मीटिंग
वरना मैं एक काम करता हूँ. I'll do one thing. Do you want me to share the poster? I can share the poster till it goes live. Uma, I'll do one thing. I'll share the poster.
Mujib sir, it is live.
Yes, sir.
Uma, I'll post the poster. Wait. We are not live, right?
We are live, sir. It's 11:16. We are live. I've shared the link with Sadaf.
Okay.
Good morning, sir. Vijay, sir, good morning. Dr. Goswami here.
Morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Sir, how are you, sir?
I'm good, sir. I'm good, sir.
Uh, uh, we'll start. I think we have to contact immediately to our guest.
Yes, sir.
So
We
they
have
also
already
will be live.
started the live, sir. We have already
Yeah.
started the live.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can start this.
We are having Professor Dr. R.N. Gupta sir in this Zoom meeting. So I welcome you sir. Thank you so much for joining us.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, good morning. Good
Morning,
morning,
sir.
Dr.
Good morning, sir.
Goswami. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, all.
Good morning,
Dr.
sir.
Sadaf, Dr. Umar, Dr. Mujahideen.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, good morning. How are you?
I'm good, sir. I'm very good, sir.
Best wishes for your lecture. Very important lecture for the student.
Yes,
Thank you
yes.
for accepting the proposal.
So
Thank
thank you,
you
sir.
very much. Dr. Goswami, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Uh,
Sadaf and Goswami sir, let me know if we can start or should we wait for a couple of minutes so that people are joining in YouTube, because there are most of people who are trying to join in YouTube. The YouTube live link is already been shared. So should we wait for a couple of more minutes or can we
Sir,
start this?
we are reaching to our guest of honor, or we are waiting for him only for a
Right,
couple of minutes, sir. Please.
right. So I would request everyone to be on mute so that we don't have any disturbances from other speakers. And I would request all the students to stay till the end of the session so that we will share the feedback form. And once you complete the feedback form, we'll be sending you the certificate of participation. There are 2 sessions, Power Pack 2 sessions. One is on generative AI. It's not about just an AI, it's generative AI in clinical trials. And the second topic is the decentralized clinical trials, the advanced versions of clinical trials, how we are conducting, how we are doing it. So both sessions will be power packed with a lot of innovation and new knowledge, a new scope, and new career. So please look into question and answers, and you can ask more questions, and we'll happy to answer any questions which are raised during the session. Once the guest of honor is joined, just let me know, Sadaf, because we'll start the session immediately.
We are just waiting for our guest of honor. His yeah, we are having Ravindra Bandyopadhyay, sir. I welcome you, sir, on this very auspicious occasion of webinar.
Sadaf, I think your voice is breaking, Sadaf. Can you share your screen and start introducing the chief guest and guest of honor so that we will be starting the session? Sadaf, can you share your screen, please?
Good morning, everyone. May we start? Should we start this webinar? Respected dignitaries, faculty members, professionals, and students, on behalf of College of Pharmacy, in association with Indian Pharmaceutical Association, Bihar State Branch, and Clinosol Research Private Limited, Hyderabad, and under the aegis of the Institution's Innovation Council, Ministry of Education, government over here today. I am Mrs. Sadaf Salma, Assistant Professor and IIC Convener at Divine Care Pharmacy, and it is my privilege to moderate today's national webinar on Agentic AI in Clinical Research. The objective of this webinar is to understand how agentic artificial intelligence is transforming clinical research by enhancing efficiency, accuracy, ethical compliance, and decision making in modern healthcare system. Along with this, I would like to briefly highlight the role of Divine College of Pharmacy as we are to academic excellence in innovation and industry-oriented pharmaceutical education through continuous academic program and research-driven initiatives. We are focusing on preparing students for real-world pharmaceutical and clinical research challenges under the Institution Innovation Council, supported by the Ministry of Education, Government of India, collectively promotes innovation, entrepreneurship, and exposure to emerging domains such as artificial intelligence, clinical research, and healthcare technologies. This program is being organized by the State branch, which is the largest and most prestigious professional body of pharmacists in India. The Indian Pharmaceutical Association has been consistently working towards that country. We are truly honored to have the leadership of IP associated with today's webinar. Before we begin our technical session, I would like to brief Limited, founded in 2019. Clinosol Research is a corporate affairs registered life science skill development organization decided to bring the gap between academic learning and industry expectations. The organization specializes in clinical research, pharmacovigilance, clinical data management, medical writing, regulatory affairs, clinical SAS, and emerging domains such as AI. 5 lakh learners trained 5,000 plus students and achieved an impressive 93% placement record across India. With strong academic partnerships, industry collaborations, and hands-on training models, Clinosol continues to empower students with industry-ready skills and global career opportunities. Now, at this moment, I would also like to take a moment to acknowledge the invaluable support and guidance of our patron, Mr. Subhash Chandra Prasad, founder and chairman DGI, whose constant encouragement has been instrumental in organizing this program. I would also like to express my sincere gratitude to our convener, Dr. Shambhadit Goswami Sir, Principal, Divine College of Pharmacy, for his visionary leadership, academic guidance, and continuous support in making this webinar a reality. Moving forward, before proceeding with the introduction of our esteemed chief guest and guest of honor, I would like to invite Mr. Ansari Sir, as Professor, Divine College of Pharmacy, to formally welcome all our distinguished guest speakers and participants. Sir, we request you to kindly deliver the welcome address. Over to you, Anand.
Sadaf, I think your voice is breaking. Can we invite our chief guest to deliver their address?
Hello.
Sir, good morning, sir. We can hear you.
Good morning.
Hello. Good morning, sir. Myself, MD Mannan Ansari, Assistant Professor at Divine College of Pharmacy and coordinator of this event. First of all, I would like to thank sincerely management, our organizing committee for giving me this opportunity to speak on this prestigious occasion. On behalf of Divine College of Pharmacy, Sivan, it's my great honor to warmly welcome our distinguished guest and speaker today, a webinar on Agentic AI clinical research. We are privileged to have with us Dr. R.N. Gupta, sir, National President of India Pharmaceutical Association, as our chief guest. Mr. R.L. Bandhu Padhyay, sir, President IPA, Bihar State Branch, our guest of honor, Professor Mujibuddin Sheikh, sir, founder and CEO, Clinosol Research Private Limited, as our eminent speaker. Uma Priya ma'am, co-founder and director, Clinisol Research Private Limited, as our eminent speaker. Mr. Subhash Chandra Prasad, sir, founder and chairman, Divine Group of Institution, as our patron. Dr. Sambadita Goswami, sir, principal, Divine College of Pharmacy, as our convener. Mr. Shadaf Salma, ma'am, assistant professor and ICIC convener, Divine College of Pharmacy, as our moderator. Mr. Umar Yashir, sir, assistant professor, Divine College of Pharmacy, as a coordinator. Dr. Neeraj Kumar, sir, assistant professor, Divine College of Pharmacy, as co-convener, coordinator. Sorry. We are truly grateful our esteemed presence and valuable guidance. I am confident that session will be highly insightful, informative, and beneficial for all participants. Thank you all for joining us. Now, I would like to hand over the session our moderator, Mrs. Sadaf Salma, ma'am. Kindly take the proceeding forward. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. It is my proud privilege to introduce our chief guest, Professor Dr. R.N. Gupta, sir, National President, Indian Pharmaceutical Association. Sir is a legendary crusader of pharmacy profession with over 47 years distinguished experience spanning industry, research, training, and regulatory leadership. He has served as a professor at Birla Institute of Technology, Mesra, and as an adjunct professor at NIPER, Kolkata, and is a respected member of a Drug Technical Advisory Board, Government of India, with more than 100 research publications, guidance of PhD scholars, authorship of renowned books, and recipient of multiple national level awards. His contribution to pharmacy education and policy is truly inspirational. Sir, we are deeply honored by your presence. May I now request Dr. Aryan Gupta, sir, to kindly bless us with your kind words. Sir,
Good
please.
morning. Good
Good morning, sir.
morning, Dr. Goswami, Principal of Divine College of Pharmacy, Mr. Ravindralal Bandyopadhyay, Lifetime Achievement Awardee of Indian Pharmaceutical Association, and also President of Indian Pharmaceutical Association, Bihar State Branch, most active branch of in our country. And Mr. Mujaddin, Dr. Mujaddin, CEO of Clinosol Research, Dr. Sadaf, Dr. Neeraj Singh, and professors and participants. I am thankful to Dr. Goswami for inviting me in this webinar. First of all, I give congratulations and also best wishes to Dr. Goswami for organizing such type of webinar for the benefit of students and also the delegates who are attending. As I came to know that in Bihar, very few colleges are, though many colleges are there, but very few colleges are active. Like this, Divine College of Pharmacy is also organizing and maintaining college in the better manner for the pharmaceutical education in the Bihar state. I convey my best wishes to the principal, Dr. Goswami, so that in the coming days he will maintain this college and do progress of this college for the better pharmacy education in Bihar, and maybe he will become top one in the Bihar. They have organized this webinar. I am very happy because in institute always conference, seminar, webinar, etc. It is workshops should be done on the regular basis so that the students will develop in curriculum also in their study, but beside study some knowledge is required of the around of their profession. They have to know what is what is the development is being done in professor. Recent development, exchange of knowledge, talk with different people, how to mix up with the people, how to organize the function. These things required by attending seminar, webinar, conference, congress, like that. So I am thankful that as per the advice of Bihar State Branch President Mr. Ravindra Bandyopadhyay, Dr. Goswami has arranged this program and they have selected a very eminent speaker. This Clinosol research is doing much more better today in this CRO, Clinical Research Organization, as a clinical research organization. Nowadays, due to the introduction of several drugs as a new drug by the DCGI, Drug Control Journal of India, CDSCO notification, the importance of CRO is much more. Many of the pharmacy students will get job as a CRO in CRO organization as pharmacovigilance associate or clinical research associate, and they will do the survey for collecting the data on the pharmacovigilance or of also clinical research. Clinical research is nowadays become most important. I am hopeful by this webinar all the participants will be much more benefited. And once again I give my thanks to the principal and the team and also my best wishes to the organizer for making this function success. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. On, be- on behalf of Divine College of Pharmacy, it is our honor to express our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed chief guest, Sir, Dr. R.N. Gupta, sir, National President IPA. As a token of our sincere appreciation and respect, we would like to present you with a certificate of appreciation. Sir, kindly accept this certificate as a small gesture of our gratitude for your valuable presence and guidance. Thank you so much, sir.
Sadaf, you have to share the screen
Thank
and
you.
show.
Thank you.
Share the screen and show the certificate, Sadaf.
Certificate is visible.
You can share your screen, Sadaf. Sir, thank you for joining, sir.
Is it visible?
No. Yes.
Sir, kindly accept our
Thank you very much. Thank you.
certificate as a small gesture of our gratitude
Yes.
for your
Thank
valuable
you very
presence and
much.
guidance. Thank you so much,
It
sir.
was taking time, na?
Yes, sir.
No,
Now,
a
it is
mistake
now
is
my
there.
pleasure
Hello.
to introduce our guest
Hello,
of
hello.
honor.
Hello. Some
Yes,
mistake
sir.
is there. Arun Thakur.
We'll
Name
take it up,
mistake.
sir. We'll take it up, sir. We'll take it up, sir.
Okay,
Thank
yes,
you,
yes,
Okay.
sure,
Gupta, sir.
sir.
We'll take it up,
Sure,
sir.
sir,
We'll take it up, sir.
we will correct it, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
Gupta, sir.
Best wishes, Dr. Mujad.
Now, it is my pleasure to
Yeah,
introduce
thank
our
you,
guest
Gupta,
of
sir.
honor,
Thank you, sir.
Mr.
Thank you, sir.
Ravindra Lal Bandyopadhyay, sir, President, IPA Bihar State Branch. Sir is highly respected pharmaceutical technologist with over 4 decades of experience in pharmaceutical quality assurance, testing laboratories, and professional leadership. He has been associated with Indian Pharmaceutical Association for more than 33 years, serving in various key leadership roles. His relentless effort in strengthening pharmacy practice, organizing public health initiatives, and mentoring pharmacy students have left a lasting impact on the profession, especially in Bihar. Sir, we are privileged to have you with us today. Now, I would like to invite you, sir, to share your valuable thoughts with us. Sir, please. I once again request Dr. Ravindra Lal Bandyopadhyay, sir, to please share your valuable thoughts with us, sir.
Hello.
I think there is some network issue with sir. Yes, sir. Sir, please share your valuable thoughts with us, sir.
Sir, your voice is audible. You can go ahead.
I think there is some technical issue with sir's side.
Sir, you can unmute and give your address, sir.
Great.
Yeah, now unmute and you can give your address, sir. I think there is some network issue from.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Sir, we are able to hear you.
yeah, I am audible.
Yes, now it is
Yes, sir.
audible, sir. You can continue, sir. Thank you, sir.
Oh, sorry. On behalf of Indian Pharmaceutical Association, Bihar State Bench, I welcome all of you on today's webinar on AI in clinical research. India is scaling up its artificial intelligence ambitions. AI is rapidly transforming clinical research, optimizing everything from trial design to regulatory submission. As the pharmaceutical industry embraces AI, understanding its potential and challenges is very essential. I hope we'll all have a very informative webinar on today, and thanks to the Divine College of Pharmacy for organizing this webinar along with IPA Bihar. I don't take any more time. Thank you all for joining in today's webinar. Thank you all. Proceed.
On behalf of Divine College of Pharmacy, it is our honor to express our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest of honor, Dr. Ravindra Lal Bandyopadhyay, sir, National Bihar President IPA Bihar State Branch. As a token of our sincere appreciation and respect, we would like to present you with a certificate of appreciation. Sir, kindly accept this certificate as a small gesture of our gratitude for your valuable presence and guidance, sir.
Thank you. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, sir.
Thank you. Proceed.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Now we are moving towards our first technical session. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce Professor Sheikh Mujibuddin, sir, founder and CEO of Clinosol Research Private Limited, Hyderabad. With nearly 2 decades of experience, Sir has worked with global CROs and pharma giants such as IQVIA, Parexel, Oracle, Essential, and PQPS. In 2019, he founded Clinosol Research with a vision to bring the gap between academia and industry. Under his leadership, Clinosol has trained thousands of students across India and abroad and has received 13 prestigious awards for excellence in training and placement. Sir, we eagerly look forward to your insights on next-gen clinical operation leveraging Agentic AI for smart trial execution. Sir. So over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Let me share my screen. And thank you, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank our IPA National President, Arun Gupta, sir. I would like to thank IPA Bihar State Branch President, Ravindra Lal, sir. I would like to thank our Goswami, sir, and organizing committee from Divine College. And this topic is one of the best topic, which we can always have a lot of debating topics. And start discussing on it. So without any delay, I'll share my screen, and happy that the session will not be a boring session and everyone will take some points over the learning. So I hope my screen is visible. Someone can confirm me if my screen is visible so that I can go ahead. And if my voice is audible and I'm visible. So I have given so many questions. If someone can confirm me, if my screen is visible, I would like to continue. Okay, so I got S. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. First of all, I wanted to give an acknowledgement and thank you slide. So this is the first time presentation where the thank you comes first. So because I don't wanted to put at the last slide, so I wanted to put at the first slide. So I wanted to present with gratitude to Divine College of Pharmacy for fostering the innovation and also excellence in pharmaceutical education, and also organizing such a wonderful webinars, which is much about not AI, but also about agentic AI and also decentralized trials. We are not speaking in this webinar anything about AI. We are speaking more beyond, which is a word called as agentic AI. So agentic AI is a wonderful subject, and the AI is going and modifying itself by thinking by itself to solve the problems. And also it is giving a CAPAs and also root cause analysis, and also it is thinking by itself to solve our issues before we can think about any kind of issues. See, now I'll give so many examples during my session by which we'll be discussing more detail about agentic AI. So I wanted to personally thank IPA because all the support from the IPA president, Arun Gupta sir, and all the IPA central committee members. I am very thankful for them because they have supported in many of the conferences and upcoming conferences. Also, we are working very closely to make sure that how we can collaborate and how we can do more benefit for the students. I wanted to thank Almighty Lord, without which we cannot have done anything. I wanted to personally thank my parents, because without parents, we are not any kind of things. Without forgetting our mentors and teachers and gurus and guides. From teaching or where I have worked in the world in the clinical research, I wanted to thank everyone. So thank you. I'm acknowledging everyone's efforts, including all my gurus and mentors, by which I am currently now in this status. Today's topic, the biggest word, it's AI. It's called as artificial intelligence. Clinical trials from tradition to methods of AI-powered innovation. So today's topic, the more focus I'll be speaking is what exactly is clinical trials. Second point, how the clinical trial traditionally was conducted, how patient used to go to hospitals, participate in clinical trials, conduct in clinical trial, collect the data, analyze the data, submit the applications, all those stories. But how AI came into picture, then how agentic AI came into picture, and what is an impact of AI or what is an impact of agentic AI in terms of conducting of clinical trial in real application. I'll be speaking on it. So my topic is very clear. I'll be speaking on three parts. First part is on clinical trials. Second part is on traditional clinical trials. The third part is AI and agentic AI, how it is impacting and how it is reducing the time, money, efforts, everything I'll be speaking on, particularly on agentic AI in clinical trials. Yeah, without any delay, so I wanted to speak much about my career and my background. So I'm Professor C.S. Mujibuddin. I'm the founder and CEO of Clinosol Research. I born in a very remote village, which was in Kadapa, Andhra Pradesh. My journey began with modest circumstances. I was not having a big schools and residential colleges. I studied in railway school and also railway college in Guntakal, very remote places in Andhra Pradesh. These formative years had strong values that would guide my path forward. So that education, which was my childhood education and college education, was so good that strong values were impacted in me. Moving to Karnataka for higher education, I did my diploma in pharmacy while navigating significant academic and also financial and personal challenges. I had so many challenges while I was pursuing in diploma in pharmacy. Nevertheless, I overcome all the challenges. Each setbacks become a lesson for me. I started my B.Pharm in Tamil Nadu, and I did my master's in also Tamil Nadu, and I did my master's in clinical research from Manipal University. Each setback become a lesson for resilience and discipline and perseverance. So I always remembered and believed it's all about consistency. It's not about the one-time motivational things that I'll walk today for 10 kilometers and tomorrow I'll sleep in home. It's all about consistency and setbacks and also lessons which are being learned. The quality that transform the obstacles and stepping stones and also this educational have just prepared me for a career that shaped my life purpose in healthcare and education. It's just an education which made us to come together. I'm not from Bihar. I'm very typical kind of a person from South India, but I'm still taking a session for a Bihar student. The only one objective which has brought us closer is education, particularly the pharma education or pharmacy education. How can we impart it in the students in virtual mode? So this is my professional journey and leadership impact. I have launched my professional career in Hyderabad in 2006 as a medical writer, building extensive expertise across the clinical research and healthcare. And I have worked on multiple industries, including Accenture, Cognizant, Parexel, IQVIA, Oracle. And then in 2019, I started my own organization, which is Clinosol Research. I currently hold 4 designations as of now. I'm a founder and CEO for Clinosol Research. I'm an associate director for SGP, where I develop new devices, AI model devices, the first non-invasive device, which can identify any 42 organs or how it is working. And I'm a director for Rapid Medic app and hospitals. I'm a professor of practice in St. Anne's Women's College. I'm a professor of practice by my intentions or my passion that I'm into teaching. I'm into clinical research, healthcare industry. I'm an educator, career mentor. I'm a data storyteller. I'm a national and international conference speaker and social impact leaders of healthcare education. So this is my background. And from since 2019, when I started Clinosol, I have always tried to train as much as students I can train. And I gave trainings on clinical research, CDM, PV, medical writing, regulatory affairs. We collaborate with universities to conduct more workshops. And we are here to help all the students who want to grow in India or any parts of the world. So without any delay, I think I've spoken so much about my profile and my education background, my experience, and then I spoke about how I have came into Clinosol and what I'm doing it. So now what exactly are clinical trials and why it is very important? So the word clinical trial derives from a testing of any product, either it is device or a drug or a biologic or a vaccine or a nutraceuticals. Don't look at a pharmaceutical industry as only a drug format. It might be a vaccine, it might be a device, it might be a biologic, it might be a nutraceutical, it might be a cosmetic product also. Let's not look at only the drugs is the pharmaceutical industry. It's more beyond the drugs. To identify any of the effectiveness and safety of a drug molecule or a device or a vaccine or a biologic or a cosmetic or nutraceutical product, we have to test it on animals first. And once animal testing is submitted or once animal trials are completed, we will submit an application, which is the IND application, where we will be giving all the details that how animal studies are being done, and we'll get approval for conducting the testing in human beings. In a nutshell, a word clinical trial comes as testing of drugs or devices or procedures into human beings that really works or not. So now these are very important in order to maintain the approval for drugs in any of the country, because already our chief guest has spoken so much about the drug approvals and also CDSCO and also NDCT rules. Any drug which have to come into market have to get a rigorous clinical trials. That's the drug approval, patient safety, and advancing in medical knowledge is important. That's a more important, which is clinical trial. Now, the most important question, do we really think that clinical trials have a future? Because every day we are getting one new term, which is AI. Every day it is coming new terms, and everyone is afraid that our jobs are being lost. But if you see the clinical trial landscape, particularly worldwide and also in India, the number of clinical trials have grown drastically. It's 450,000 clinical trials which are active currently now. 450,000. And it's more than 68 billion global market. And we are expected a growth of 12.5 by 2030. No drug, no device, no vaccine can come into market without testing in human beings. No AI can stop our jobs. That's the most important global situation of clinical trial landscape. Now, one of the most interesting questions, why we should learn clinical trials, or what is the importance of clinical trials in India? Very much raising hub. India has a big competitive advantage. First is large patient population, genetically diverse patient population. If you see the way the India is looking at it is diverse patient population and also genetically different and large number of patient population, cost effective, strong network of hospitals, English speaking people, investigators and sites, and also more pharmacy people to work on clinical trials, and also regulatory reforms, streamlining the approval process of the CDSCO. Because recently in budget also we have got so much of funding onto the CDSCO so that we can get more approvals for your biologics or biosimilars or into nutraceutical products. So that's a big hike in the clinical trials. There is one more term. I think most of us have to understand that it's not just a clinical trials. There is one more testing which is being done, which is BAB studies, bioavailability. I think everyone knows the bioavailability, the rate and extent of drug which is available at the market or at the blood circulation. So, but bioequivalence is you have a test drug and you have a reference drug. Reference drug is a patented drug. Test drug is a generic drug. Both are being given to two subjects. The availability of the drug at the blood circulation is same. Then generic gets approved into the market. And generic is only 1 rupee, patent is 100 rupees. So that's a bioequivalent studies which has been given. So now tablet A is equal to tablet B. And this is the Cmax, Tmax curve which has to be there. That's what you call it as bioavailability and bioequivalence studies. The more interesting story, we have a lot of job opportunities. Just we have to open our eyes and see where we can get our opportunities into the world. So this is about the bioequivalence studies. Now, how clinical trial happens? In a nutshell, we spoke that we need a clinical trials testing on human beings for effectiveness and safety. Why do we need? Because of evidence-based. How clinical trial really happens? The first thing, I think if anyone has a MPharm or PharmD, they'll understand this process more easily. First, you will have a protocol. So you will... Okay, first we'll have the protocol, study plan and objective. So how are we going to start your clinical trial? What is your objective? What is your design? What is your methodology? What is your statistics? What is your inclusion? What is exclusion? What is safety assessment? What is the efficacy assessment? What is the schedule of assessment? What is the vital signs? What is advisement? Everything in one document. That document is your protocol. We call it as Bible of clinical trial is a protocol. First protocol will be prepared. Then we go and select hospitals. So which is qualified clinical trial individual. So wherein we choose the qualified clinical trial hospitals to conduct a clinical trial. Then we go and enroll the patients. We take the patients, get into the clinical trial, test it as per our objectives. Then we conduct your clinical trials. We recruit the patients. Then we execute the procedures, monitor the safety. We give the medications or a device or vaccine, and we take all the assessments, either it is vital signs, medical history, or lab, or ECG, or all kind of assessments, because we are most demanded pharmacy people. We know about pharmacology, we know about the pathophysiology, we know about biochemistry, we know about lab details and ECG and normal values, normal values. We are most demanded people to understand that how the drug is really acting on the patients. The next one is last is analysis of the data, where you collect all the information and analysis the data to showcase that your test drug is same as a reference drug. So first one, you design a trial. Second one, you have a hospitals. Third one, you recruit a patient. Fourth one, you collect the data. Fifth one, you analyze the data and submit the data for the approval. So this is all about how clinical trial really happens into the market. And where can we work? So this is a traditional clinical trial timeline. So if you see traditional clinical trials, the first one, protocol designs, it used to take 1 to 3 months. For study objective methodologies and regulatory submissions and all those details, it really takes nearly 3 months of time for conducting your clinical trials. Then you have site startups wherein it takes nearly 4 months to 6 months, where it is called as site selections, contracts, IRB approvals, and site trainings. Then there is an enrollment where it is 7 months to 18 months where patient recruitment, screening, consent process, everything is being taken. Then you have a treatment period where you give a real-time drug, 12 months to 24 months for drug administration, monitoring, and data collection. And then you have an analysis of 25 months to 30 months. So you really take 30 months of time, which means that nearly you can say that it requires more than 2.5 years for any clinical trial timelines to complete it, from protocol design to submission of data for analysis. But now the site selection, most difficult part. Hospital, which hospital is the best hospital? Which doctor is the best doctor? Do they really have the facilities? Do they really have the resources? Do they really have any adverse event happens to a patient? Suddenly they can give a treatment, or they have all kind of assessment to be done, all kind of data to be collected and properly captured. And first thing is whether they have enough patients to conduct a clinical trials. Finding a right partner, most difficult part. Traditional site selection is very difficult. You can't go and check every hospital that, okay, how many patients you have, what is facility, what is the aspects you have, everything traditional selections you need to do it. The investigator qualification and experience and patient popularity or patient population availability. So how many patients do they really have? Infrastructure is there. How many clinical trials they have conducted, any regulatory compliance or blacklistedness of regulatory has been done. So the biggest challenge, manual evaluation, is time consuming. Every hospital you need to go and find out that for a particular disease, how many patients are coming, for a particular disease, who is the investigator, how they are conducting, and relies more on historic relationship. And it is just a manual work, which is site selection. The biggest point is identifying a right hospital is always a difficult. And traditionally, it takes a lot of time. But now, the site selection process, the feasibility assessments, the site qualification, contracts, and also site initiation. 4 steps are there. So whenever you go to a hospital to select a hospital for conducting a clinical trial, first one is feasibility assessment. Are you ready? Do you have enough things to conduct your clinical trials? The evaluation potential for the site through questionnaires. Covering patient access is there. Staff experience is there, expertise is there, CRCs are there, CRAs are there, and facility resources are there. Your ECGs is there, pharmacy area is there, temperature controlled labs are there, everything. Then you have a site qualification where it conducts on-site visits, verify the capabilities, documentation, assess the compliance, readability. And the next one is contract negotiation, because investigator will ask some money, the sponsor will ask for some money, and responsibility legal agreements between the sponsor and site gets into it. Then you have site initiation. The site initiation, train the staff for a particular protocol and conduct your clinical trial as per your procedures and also regulatory documentation practices. So these are the 4 parts in site selection. Site selection is first part. Second part, enrollment. And this is the biggest point which we have a problem, because getting a right patient for a right clinical trial is the biggest, hardest thing in your industry or clinical research, which we call it as participation, enrollment, or foundation. So we recruit, advertising, campaigning, the physician referrals or patient databases, community, and outreach program. You can't go and put it a big board saying that I need a patient for this conduct of clinical trial. Recruitment, advertising campaigns, physician referrals, or patient databases and community outreach programs is very difficult. Getting a screening is more challenging. So you got the patient, but while you are screening a subject, whether he is a pass or fail is the biggest question. You might have 100 subjects with you, but whether he is a fit for your clinical trial is more question, because your protocol gives a lot of inclusion and exclusion criteria to participate into clinical trial. Verify your inclusion and exclusion criteria through medical histories, lab test, and also physical examination. And the third most important point is called as voluntary consent given by the subjects, explaining the study procedures, participation of clinical trials, and most of the patients will be afraid to participate into clinical trials because they really don't know what is that voluntary agreement to be given for the participation of clinical trial. 80% of clinical trial fail because of only one reason, that they don't meet the enrollment timeline. You don't get the right patient, you don't get the right enrollment strategies, participate in clinical trial. But how AI and agentic AI is playing a role, we are going to discuss more about it. The first one, enrollment challenges, patient awareness. The patient is not really aware to participate into clinical trial, and it's a noble cause to participate in clinical trial. If we don't have a patient, we can't conduct a clinical trial. If we don't conduct a clinical trial, there is a new product in the market. So limited knowledge about the availability in trial in their areas and therapeutic indications. And very strict criteria, inclusion and exclusion criteria, complex eligibility criteria and requirements that excludes otherwise interested participants. And also there is a geographical population of rural, urban, remote places and all, where they don't have more clarity about the clinical trials, and more understanding about clinical trials is not there because human beings are very busy in other activities. This is the third part. First part, we have spoken about site selection. The second part, we have spoken about the patients. Third part is clinical trial conduct, the core team structure. There are team members who are required. First one is investigator, who is a doctor who conducts the trial. Second one is CRC. It is called as clinical research coordinator. Third one is laboratory person who works on lab because a lot of data goes into lab and gets into the aspects. And fourth one is regulatory affairs. So this is all team members in during your clinical trial conduct. So first one, during your clinical trial conduct, you will go for a baseline assessment. Before you start taking a drug, what is your value? Then you go for a treatment of patient. Then you go for a safety and efficacy evaluation. Then you will ask the patient to go outside. That's it. Okay, so baseline assessments, then treatment and safety, then evaluation of efficacy is being done. So schedule of patients, visits, vital signs, blood pressure, or your lab assessment or ECG assessment, each interaction generation data has more data and comes into case report form. It's only one subject, you have 20 assessment. For 100 subjects, 200 assessment. For 30 visits, it's nearly 6 lakhs assessments. That's what is more important, which we have to understand. It's not one assessment which is being done. It's a more data which you are getting at. And I would suggest BPharm, MPharm, PharmD people, you have a lot of opportunities in clinical research and clinical trials or clinical data analysis or data management or pharmacovigilance, where you can grow in your life with respect to this. The data management, backbone of a quality, because as I have already said that the clinical trials are conducted for evidence. How do you get evidence? By testing on human beings and getting the right data. The backbone of a quality is the data. The data collection is more important. CRF completed at each visit is important, and data entry is important. And then quality checks whether the data is complete, consistent, and logical. Because the data is falsified, then whole clinical trial logic is missing or objective is missing, because the data has to be more validated and more approved. And finally, archival of data, which is the database lock and final validation or completion of the data. The monitoring, ensuring the compliance, already our chief guest and guest of honor spoke about it. The monitoring of clinical trials or CRA roles are more important. They regularly visit whether the conduct of trial is correctly done, review the consent form, review the drug accountability, review the regulatory document, assess the protocol adherence, and also protects the participation rights, ensures the accuracy, maintain the good clinical practice or not. The monitoring will work on this proper areas, ensuring this. There is one more team, which is the pharmacovigilance, the early detection and early prevention of adverse events or drug-related risks. So now understand the pharmacovigilance has 3 parts. First one is detection. Second one is assessment. Third one is reporting of adverse event. Detection, assessment, and reporting of adverse event is more important in proper aspects of the pharmacovigilance. There is big word, which is data analysis and validation, wherein the statistical analysis phase will come once the database is locked. The biostatistician apply the predetermined analysis plans to evaluate the efficacy endpoints, safety data points. Key activities are there, which is called as descriptive statistics for baselines and primary and secondary analysis and safety profile evaluation, subgroup analysis, and also all kind of analysis at the end. So we started with selection of site, patient enrollment, conduct of trial, then data collection, data validation, then we spoke about pharmacovigilance, then we spoke about statistics. These are all systems which are included in your particularly clinical research industry. So now the final word, which is the final mile, which is regulatory reporting timeline. So it's the regulatory submissions, which is clinical study report, regulatory submissions, agency review, and finally, they will give an approval for the submission of the report. You prepare a report, they will review it, they will give an approval, and you go to market and hit the market. That's your regulatory reporting timeline, which is the final mile. So now from here, we are going, our gears are changing. Now we will look into how the existing process, because I explained all the process. Now how clinical trial starts, how it is conducted, how it is analyzed, and how it is submitted. Everything I spoke about it. Now the question is how AI or how agentic AI is going to implement it at every stage. We are going to speak about it now in deeper words. The biggest word, the technology revolution in clinical trials. How AI is digitally transforming clinical trials. The digital transformation is shaping or reshaping how clinical trials are designed, conducted, and analyzed, and improved its efficiency, reduced its costs, reducing its timeline, and accelerating the patient access to new therapy. Patients can't wait. You have to use technology to bring new medications to the market. That's how you have to understand how important it is. The technology includes the EDC systems, telemedicine, wearable devices, or drone-based dispensing, or artificial intelligence, agentic AIs, and fundamentally changing the clinical research landscape. We're putting almost every logics, every technology where it is revolutionizing the clinical trials. The biggest technologies, I'll not go into deeper, but I'll just say what are the different technologies we are going to have it. The first one is EDC system, which is electronic systems, EDC or ECRF or CTMS systems, which is electronic data captures or case report forms or clinical trial management systems, making streamlining of data collection and management. The second one is remote monitoring, which is telemedicine, virtual visits, and also the site burden is reduced. And the biggest one is called as wearable devices. Most of us are wearing now the wearable devices to use it. So these are called as continuous capture, data capture, improving the patient's monitoring. There is one of the most important aspects, which is blockchain. Enhanced data security and traceability is more important, which is your blockchain technology. Now enter the dragon, which is enter of artificial intelligence. Okay, so this was the topic which we are looking from since long time, that what I will be speaking on AI in clinical trials. AI in clinical trials uses machine learning and algorithms and the programming languages to analyze vast data sets to first identify the patterns, predicts the outcomes, and decision making in a right process. It takes a lot of information and data, analyze it and predicts it, and also gives the right data-driven decision to be taken. From identifying the right patients and enrollment of the patients, and also it reduces the timelines, failure methods, and trials using AI shows 30 to 40% of reduction of timeline and cost saving and percentage of failure. If you use AI for enrolling the patients, the percentage of failure is decreasing, and 30 to 40% of reduction in timelines and significantly cost saving is being done. That's what is the future for artificial intelligence for submitting into the patient's data. Now, the second part. So already I have said about patients. Now, AI enhanced site selection. I said a lot of drawbacks while it was traditional site selection, but now if you go with AI enhanced site selection or hospital selection, you have first one is predictive analytics. You have algorithms which can review the historic performance data, enrollment patterns, site characteristics, which sites will perform the best in specific protocols or specific indication. If you give, okay, this hospital, based on the historic data, how many patients, how many diseases, how many inclusion, exclusion, on that data, we can give the predictive analytics. That's the first thing. And the second thing is patient pool analysis, because the biggest disaster which we have is we don't get the right patients. And the third one is risk assessment. If I go and do it with respect to investigator qualification facilities and the resources which I have, can I conduct without having potential risk early levels only? We have to understand. So the point here is AI can enhance the site selection based on the historic data. We can analyze and we can predict and we can give the data-driven decision whether we can select that site before we identify the bigger risk in the patients. Yeah, so this is AI-powered patient recruitment. So already I have said that getting the right patients into clinical trial is challenging. So now we can do it by sitting in the home. We can screen the patients. There is a word called as EHR screening, which is electronic health record. All the AI can scan all the records of EHR and get the patients that who is the right patient who can fit into your protocol. You don't go and ask patient saying that or doctor saying that you get this patient. We can have all the EHR data, electronic health data, which is e-prescriptions or e-lab reports or e-ECGs or e-scan reports, all the reports we can review and write an algorithm and get the data that right patient can be enrolled into your clinical trials based on your protocol, inclusion and exclusion criteria. Predictive matching can be done, exact patient can be pulled up, and automated reach can be done, where personalized engagement and personalized messages can be sent to that particular patient. That these are the clinical trials which are happening now. If you really want to participate, you can participate into this particular clinical trials. We can inform them. So AI-powered patient recruitment can be done. Now, the third stage, AI during your clinical trial. During your clinical trial, it is time consuming. A lot of data errors will be happening. Real-time monitoring can be done with the AI, can analyze complete incoming data to detect any deviations, data anomalies, or safety signals immediately. You don't require manual review of a data to review that what is safety signal and what is that something deviations which are happening or anomalies which are happening. Anything anomaly up or down can be identified with a single algorithms. Adverse event detection can be done. Immediate machine learning can identify potential safety issues before it happens a big problem. Automated quality control. You don't require manual queries or manual testing systems to be there. Algorithms can validate the data and flag the inconsistent or invalid data or incomplete data, saying that the queries are being raised rather than having a manual reviews and going and asking site saying that boss, listen, your data is invalid. We don't require any more that. It's AI, automatic quality control can be taken into consideration. Now, the biggest part, AI in data analysis and reporting. So advanced capabilities, because everything we are speaking about AI is data-driven, data decision, predictive analytics, all those aspects, data analysis or data visualization, or all kind of automated statistical analysis with methods of NLP methods or predictive modelings or automated report generations and image analysis can be done. Outcome is the analysis phase accelerated from months to weeks, just with highest consistency, highest quality. Just weeks of a time you require for giving your data analysis and reporting with the highest quality of data. Now, the biggest part, here comes the understanding of agentic AI. I said AI, how it can take into patient recruitment, conduct, site initiation, and reporting of AEs, and also on analysis part. Now, the most interesting climax of the movie is agentic AI. Understanding of agentic AI. What exactly is agentic AI? So agentic AI represents the next evolution, automations of systems that can make independent decisions, take actions, adapt strategies based on changing circumstances without constant human execution. Now, say, for example, AI is just an alarm in phone. It completely rings and rings and rings and rings. But agentic AI is like our mom. She'll come first. She'll say, come on, wake up. If we don't wake up, she'll come with a glass of water. She'll put water on our face. It means that mom does not leave us till we wake up. And she can plan A to B to C. Now, agentic AI is also the same thing, that if AI is failing, then what is the reason AI is failing? It automatically plans the next way of evolution and answers the other thing. Say, for example, I'll give one more example. Patient have to come on Sunday to the hospital. Patient missed the visit. AI will go and send the alarms, but AI said patient has not came. But agentic AI will not do that. Agentic AI will make the Sunday to the next Sunday and then send one more reminder to a patient, and then send one more aspect to a data manager that there is a protocol deviation. Send one more message to a regulator saying that there is a patient who missed this timeline. Send one more message to book an auto or a cab, Uber, to the patient on next Sunday, and updates all the next visit dates. It's called as Agentic AI. It understands the workflow. It's not just at that point in time, it automates or works it. It's understand its workflow and plans accordingly. That is what you call it as Agentic AI. So unlikely traditional AI provides just a recommendation, but Agentic AI can execute task end to end. Reasons through complex problem solving and also across multiple systems can be defined objective can be done. Now, Agentic AI, now say for example, autonomous site management, AI agent independently schedule monitoring visits, generate data, adjust resource allocation based on performance metrics. AI can just look into the site is correct or not. Agentic AI can change the resources, can change the timelines and work on it. Dynamic protocol optimization can be done. Intelligent regulatory submissions also, compliance also can be done on this particular aspect. Now, this is a difference between traditional AI and agentic AI. So now decision making just provides recommendations, but makes decisions and execute actions automatically. So it means that it understands the problem, it gives the solution also, and it informs to you. Adaptability requires retraining or reprogramming, but it self-adapts. It understands the workflow immediately. Scope is very narrow, AI, but agentic AI is very broad and end-to-end. And human oversight, continuous supervision is needed for a traditional AI, but here it just operates with minimum oversight. It understands everything, it automatically thinks by itself. Static after training period, but it is continuous learning. It's a single system focus. It's a multi-system. It can go and talk to multiple people and multiple things. The most important, the future of AI-powered clinical research, key takeaways, the traditional trials face timelines and cost challenges. AI drastically accelerate every phases, but agentic AI represents the autonomous adaptive systems and transforming the functions, operations. The future combines the human expertise with the intelligent automations. So now I think that's all I have. Thank you for your kind attention, and any questions you can reach out to me. And I would like to thank Divine College who have supported us to take this session. So thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an insightful and thought-provoking session. Your explanation has given us a clear understanding of how artificial intelligence is shaping the future of clinical research and industry practices. I request all the participants to kindly pose their questions, and we will address, our speaker will address your doubts once both the sessions will get completed. Once again, I thank you, sir, for such an insightful and impactful session. Now I'm sharing my screen. On behalf of Divine College of Pharmacy and IPA Bihar State Branch, we would like to formally felicitate Professor Mujibuddin Sheikh sir today. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We now proceed to our second technical session. It is my pleasure to introduce my slide is visible. Yeah.
Yes.
We now proceed to our second technical session. It is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Uma Priya ma'am, co-founder and director of Clinosol Research Private Limited. Ms. Ma'am brings with her 19 plus years of experience in healthcare and clinical research. She has worked extensively in medical documentation, clinical data analysis, and career mentoring, including handling patient records for leading US healthcare systems. Her dedication towards training, career counseling, and empowering aspiring professionals has helped thousands of students build successful careers in clinical research. Ma'am, we are delighted to have you with us. Ma'am, we are eagerly looking forward to your insightful and thought-provoking session on decentralized clinical trials innovation in patient clinical centric research. Ma'am, over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction, and thank you so much to the Divine College of Pharmacy and IIC, and also all the dignitaries present over here, principal sir, everyone, for giving us this opportunity to interact with the students and also provide some insights about the latest technologies. And Mujib sir has spoken extensively about the traditional way of clinical trials, then the modern, and he has now touched upon what is happening in the industry currently, how artificial intelligence is changing the way clinical trials were being conducted a few decades ago. So without much ado, let me share my screen and start my session. I hope my screen is visible and I'm pretty much audible. Can someone confirm me that? Sadaf, can you confirm me that?
Yes, ma'am. Your screen is visible now.
All right. Thank you so much. So we all have passed through various healthcare challenges so far since so many decades, right from the textbook language that we have from thalidomide tragedy to the very latest COVID-19 has taught us all the regulations, all the good practices, and also it has introduced us the technology. So the decentralized clinical trials are nothing but it has no center, as the name suggests of, and Mujib sir has spoken about a few technologies, and I'm going to elaborate those technologies over here, how the decentralized clinical trials will be conducted and why we have come to a stage that we are now becoming the center free when we are conducting any clinical trials. So this is a model that has evolved over a period of time after we have faced so many healthcare challenges, such as the pandemic, such as the healthcare crisis, and all that stuff. Right. So before we understand what is decentralization, let's try to understand what are the various stakeholders that we have in the clinical trial industry. The first one is the sponsor. Sponsor is nothing but the pharmaceutical companies who are discovering the drug, I would say. Okay. So these are the companies who are funding for the clinical trials. And then comes the sites. Sites are nothing but the places or the clinical trial sites are the hospitals, the specialized hospitals, not the regular hospitals that we visit. It's a specialized unit that conducts the clinical trials separately, apart from our routine OP or inpatient kind of situations. The other important stakeholder is the patient. I should not be using this language here because we have to give respect to them and we call them as participant or a volunteer, not a patient. Though they are patients, we give respect for the contributions they are making for a drug or a device or whatever, either it's a nutraceutical product or a cosmetic, whatever, vaccine, right? All of them coming into the market. So what is decentralization now? Decentralization is a technique that combines all these three stakeholders without them meeting each other every time. So this is that technology that is making the process of clinical trials easier. And we now do not need a hospital. We now do not need a specific, sponsor sitting at one location and sending someone to monitor how the clinical trial is happening, what's happening there, what's not happening. And patient also need not to travel to the site every time to collect the medication, to get the vital signs checked, or to get the laboratory evaluation done, or to report on anything. Right. So let's try to understand how DCT works with the patient model. This is a model where decentralized is nothing but we are collecting all these things from the home. We are not asking the patient to come to the hospital and provide all these things. First thing is the vital signs. Now we have the wearable devices, Mujib sir has already mentioned. All these variables are collecting the basic vital parameters such as temperature, blood pressure, oxygen saturation, right? All these things can be collected easily with the wearable technology. Then the e-consent. Consent is a process where the participant is agreeing that he'll be participating in the clinical trial, and it's a voluntary approval that he is going to take the drug for the period that we have asked them to, maybe 2 months or 1 year, 2 years, depending on the phase and the duration that is needed. for the safety and efficacy parameter evaluation. Then comes a medical history. Patient need not to go to give a medical history or a telephonic call. He can also give what are the past medical conditions, the past drugs that he or she has taken, and the adverse events. Okay. So after taking the medication, any adverse effects, in layman terms side effects occurs, they can also monitor and report those over a telephonic call or through an application. Then the medications, we have seen that during the COVID time, the drones were dispensing the medications, right? So the medications we are seeing Tata 1mg, Apollo, MedPlus, these days everyone delivers the medication to your home. You need not to go to that medical store also, and we have so many applications that are doing this online drug delivery to your home. Then comes the laboratory. This also has become center free. You can just order online. A few certain tests are there, such as the imaging studies or some tissue biopsies. Something as such is not yet possible, but all the remaining basic laboratories can be done at the ease of your home. Then comes the imaging studies. To certain extent, ECG also is happening at home in the developed cities, developed areas, not in the villages. The questionnaires. So whatever we are going to collect from the participant, all these questions are also put in our tablet or put in our device, and we are giving them to answer to those questions, how they are feeling, whether they have taken the drug or not. We are making sure that the participant is compliant with the protocol, compliant with the treatment plan. And then comes the activity level, how much active the participant is in the trial, whether he's visiting or whether he's receiving the drug on a regular basis, whether he's giving the vital signs data, whether he's giving the laboratory samples as per the schedules, right? Whether he is reporting if anything is abnormal in his body after taking the medication, and how much he is walking, how much he is eating, how much he is sleeping. All these data can be collected without the participant coming to the hospital or the clinic. Then comes the visits and appointments. We can, as Mujib sir has mentioned a bit before, that the AI can remind them that next visit is falling on this date. You can go and visit the site, or you can collect your sample, you can collect your medication from so and so store, or you can remind them to dispatch it. Okay, all these things can happen. These are the things without any center can happen at the patient end. Then comes the site model. This is a model where we are able to now speed up the recruitment process. Mujib sir has mentioned about the electronic health records. So we are able to screen the participants, and we can pick the people who we need exactly. If it is a hypertensive study, definitely we need patients who are suffering with hypertension. What are the ranges? What are the other comorbid conditions? Through the EHRs, we can read, and we can only ask those patients to participate in our study, rather than just asking everybody to come, then check their vital signs or check their values, and then decide or determine that this is the right patient or this is the wrong patient for our study. So even before that happens, we can through the EHRs collected from various hospitals, can identify who is the right participant for our study, and this enables us to access to diverse population. So whenever any drug is being tested, sponsor always not focuses on one particular location. If it is India, if a drug is coming out, no sponsor would like to have his drug only in Telangana states or UP, Bihar, or the northern states, right? So they wanted to target every population. They wanted to reach to every patient who is suffering with this condition. So this is the technology that enables us to reach to diverse population, because we are collecting the EHRs from different locations, and we are targeting the population, because the environment, as a pharmacist, you all know that the environment, the food, everything matters here. When we are giving the drug, how it is getting absorbed, how it's working, right? How the symptoms are getting relieved. All this matters also because of all these conditions, the storage conditions of the drug, the weather conditions, the food the patient is eating, or any other medical conditions. All these matters a lot. So this technology helps us to identify people from different population, different places across the country or internationally, and selection becomes easier. Then comes the retention rates. The biggest challenge in clinical trials is retaining the patient. Retaining is stopping him in the study. Example, you are going to a company as a clinical research associate or a coordinator. After 1 or 2 years, you may leave. After 3 months also, you may leave, right? How to stop you from leaving and, learning, right? This is what a company needs. So because of that reason, they take measures that they give you appreciations, they give you promotions, they give you the salary hikes to retain you back with them because you are a good worker, good employee. The very same way we have to retain the participant. When we retain, it helps us in our data collection. If a participant is continuously leaving from the study, it becomes difficult to recruit one more person, again collect everything right from the beginning, and wait till so long until we get the information and then we produce to the sponsor and the regulatory authorities. It is a time killing kind of a thing. So retention rate will be improved with these technologies, so that automatic alerts, Mujib sir has said, alarm, right? Automated alarm. So the very same way, whether you have taken the drug or not, what's happening with you, have you had your food, right? All these reminders will be coming to the participant so that he understands the importance of taking this medication and doing everything as per the schedule, and he's not missing on anything, he's not deviating from anything, is important here for us. And then the end points. So for anything, we have a start and stop point, right? So even in education, we start with our LKG, UKG, or first standard, and we have to end degree, PG, or your PhD, whatever is that level. There is a stop point, and learning never has a start and stop. Sorry, a stop point. Learning always has a start point, but there is no stop point because learning is continuous. But here we have to stop at a certain point to see whether our drug is giving the required safety and efficacy or not. So digitally, how can we calculate the very same thing? If a participant is coming to your clinic, you can easily see through the reports that, okay, we have achieved the safety, we have achieved the efficacy endpoints. But if a person is sitting at home, so understanding whether we are in a right way or in the right direction or not is very important. And this model helps us to understand digitally how to understand whether we have reached to a certain milestone or not. The next is collecting high quality clinical and real world data. These days, we are seeing how many steps we are walking, right? What is our blood pressure? These devices, the blood sugar, continuous glucose monitors are collecting all this information. So where this information is going on, if you have wondered ever, all these data will be collected by the healthcare professionals sitting there. And from these device companies, they are reading this data. Mujib sir has mentioned AI. Who is giving the data to AI? Is this data that is coming from the real world studies without our knowledge that our data is being sent to them, and they are evaluating what kind of a particular population is facing such kind of a problem or a healthcare concern or a issue. So this is making the regulators, the sponsors, to develop, to invent a new drug or to discover a new drug, a new therapy, new device on the basis of this data that is available from the real world. Let's look into the sponsors model. So definitely the sponsor is investing huge amount of money over here. Increasing in efficiency is very, very important. If any department is not doing their work properly, example, you have a college and you have different departments. If one department is not completing the syllabus, definitely it's going to impact your entire semester, right? The very same way, if any wing is not working properly, if PV department is not reporting properly, or if data management team is not able to clean the data properly on time, or the participants are not adhering to the protocol, they are not following the required things they have to do in a clinical trial, definitely it's going to impact the entire trial's efficiency. So with this decentralized model, now example, you have we are all facing these examination issues during the March and May month, April, May month, right? Midsummer, we have to travel to the location where there is a center for us, right? In summer, even if it is 10 minutes delay, they won't allow us inside. This is a big problem. Rather than if they are asking you to sit at home and you give your exam online, though how you are seeing me on the screen, right? So this improves the transparency that they are seeing you live on the screen, and you are helping them understand that you are not copying anything, and you are maintaining the transparency while writing your examination. So this is how the examinations, this is how the interviews also were conducted during the COVID time. So this kind of technology enables us to perform efficiently and also maintain the transparency. And this technology, I need not to come to your place, right? The travel expenses are not there. You need not to come to your college and sit there for listening to my session or sir session. Your cost is reduced, right? So the technology is helping us to reduce the cost, but yet you're listening to me, you're seeing me, you are gaining that knowledge in the same way when I come there and teach to you. So this is the advantage of that for the sponsors to reduce their cost, because they might have invested lots of money already in the discovery path itself. Then comes the realistic results. So with transparency comes the realistic results. Whatever we are collecting, we are making sure that everything is reported by the patient by himself. We are not assuming on anything. They are reporting from all these questionnaires. They are reporting from the patient diaries. The training is definitely needed. Okay, they are providing every detail from their side, so it is reliable. And the results that we are obtaining from all these blood reports or the vital sign reports, right, any abnormalities or anything, are realistic and trustworthy. And this is where we are maintaining the regulatory compliance as well. Then comes the patient monitoring, the safety monitoring issues. So when we are putting up these alarms, or we are giving them, the indications that have you experienced any kind of adverse events, we are reminding them to be cautious after taking the drug, to observe whether it's causing any kind of nausea or any kind of a headache or any kind of a pain or any symptoms. This helps us to monitor the patient's condition or the safety concerns very quickly, because they have the tool in their hand, right? They need not to come to the site and report. If something is so severe, still with the use of technology, they can, it's just on the fingertips, they can immediately respond or report to the site, to the principal investigator or to the medical doctor that something has happened to them, and medical management would be easier. Then comes regulatory compliance, as I have mentioned. When we are maintaining all these things, we are making sure that we are following all the regulatory guidelines, principles, whatever is expected from the regulatory authorities, and we are managing the risk properly, and we are controlling it, and we are making sure that the risk is not coming back at whatever level possible. And then comes the data quality, because the patient himself is reporting. It's easier that we assume something and we write it, right? We hear something on the telephone, we are writing some other value over here, than that patient by himself is, reporting, or the devices are collecting by themselves. Is easier for us to trust on this data. So the data quality also will improve because there is no human intervention over here. Let's try to understand what are the advantages to the clinical trial site. Virtually, we can recruit the participants because we have all the EHR data with us. We now identified which patient is from which location. We can ask for their consent. We can explain this is the study. If they are willing to participate, they can come and participate. So this is how we are improving the recruitment ratios by reducing the timelines, by reducing the other efforts, because we are only reaching to the eligible participants. Earlier, what we used to do is we used to first check the eligibility, right? If they are not eligible, though they have consented for the trial, we used to keep them away because they are not eligible. But now we are only asking the eligible participants to take part in the study, and this is helping us to target the right population with a lesser time. Virtual enrollments and onboarding through e-consent, because it's not paper-based now. You can see my screen, right? The very same way patient also can see what's there in the consent form, what are the procedures they have to undergo, how many times they have to take the medication, at what doses they have to take, with what food they have to, use this medication, what kind of other things they have to do, how many times they have to go and give the laboratory samples, how many times the vitals will be checked. All this information is in front of them. They can read, they can review, they can try to understand multiple times. It's not that I'm giving a paper to them, they're carrying to their home and it's getting missed somewhere. So when it is stored in a PDF document or in a electronic document, you can refer to that any number of times, and you can get your doubts clarified until the patient is satisfied with the study and they can take part. And multi-factor identity verification, you have the biometric now, you have the iris now, right? For Aadhaar we are doing all that, so we also have such kind of techniques over here to identify the right patient, that someone has enrolled in the study but someone else is taking the medication. We can stop all these things with the biometric, with the iris kind of a registrations, and identifying the right population here. Then comes the virtual prediction and administration. All the drugs can be shipped directly to the patient, is possible with this administration tools, the big data, the supply chain management that has come into picture now. AI-based supply chain management is enabling that. We are all using the e-commerce tool, right? You are ordering something like a laptop, like a mobile, or a clothing from e-commerce portals such as Amazon and something. They're delivering the right product to you, whether it's broken, whether it's in the right condition, that's a different story. They're delivering it to your address the very same way. So the drug is coming right from where it is being manufactured, from the sponsor side, directly to your home. No one is there in between. You need not to go to a medical store. You need not to go and get it filled from some other pharmacy, because sponsor is providing at your doorstep. Okay. Then comes the data collections, electronic patient records, electronic patient reported outcomes, including all the images. If you have something on the skin like a rash, you can click a picture and send it. They will evaluate it, how much infection has spread, and whether this rash is of what type, right? Whether it's increasing, decreasing, it's itchy, non-itchy. So they can understand all these things immediately when you're clicking a picture and sharing with them. The audio kind of a recording that you are sharing with the medical doctors or the sites, and then remotely monitoring via the digital instruments, the wearable, the medical devices, and all that stuff, and event-based notifications and reminders. So every person will not have visit on the same day. Today I have taken up the study, I will have my visit after 1 week maybe. For the second participant has not come today, he has come tomorrow, his visit date is some other date, right? So when these dates are changing, understanding that every participant has a different visit date and that will be scheduled with the use of this technology, and reminders will be given according to the visit date, which is falling after 1 week or 15 days window period as per the protocol. Then the virtual assessments, now we have the teleconsultations for normal conditions, and if anything emergency, we are contacting the nearby health facilities, and we are asking the participants to first go and get them checked over there at the nearest facility than traveling to some 40-50 kilometers. That may be risky sometimes. What are the advantages of DCT? We have seen what DCT is all about and how it is helping the sites, the sponsors, and also the participants. Now we'll try to see the advantages of decentralized clinical trials. So it's reducing the burden on the participants because they need not to travel every time. They need not to, take a prior appointment with the doctor, right? They need not to plan their laboratories. Everything is planned by the artificial intelligence systems or by the site by themselves, and improved compliance because everything is coming at your doorstep, right? You need not to go anywhere. So this is making us our lives easier, that everything we are getting at our home. So definitely we are going to opt for that. All the Swiggy, Zomato, right? Why they are flourishing in India is because of the very same reason. Everything is coming at your doorstep, all the groceries, all the food items, right? Everything is coming to your doorstep, and that is cutting down your time. Then comes accuracy, improved accuracy also, and patient and researchers access, reduced cost of the data collection because everything is electronic. You don't need to store in papers. You have to put it somewhere, right? Secure it, all the papers, and the better decision makings. On the basis of this, everything is in front of your eyes. Decision making also becomes easier rather than you going through lots of bundles of papers and then making a decision. Let's try to understand the growth of DCT in India specifically or across the globe. Now around 140 plus, this is the latest data available in 2022 as per the global data. So by 2022 itself, we have almost 140 virtual CROs that have come into the existence. Okay. So this is a rapidly growing technology. And when technology definitely grows, it comes with a challenge. What are the challenges that we generally face with such kind of technologies are safety profile of the drug. So how safe this drug is, because everybody is taking from home, some may report, some may not report. So understanding the safety profile, because you're not putting the person in front of your eyes, the person is not in front of your eyes, then you cannot estimate the safety profile. And that person is skipping the laboratory, he's not giving a blood sample, and you're not able to evaluate the safety or efficacy of the drug. This is a challenge that we generally face. And safety regarding home administration. We are asking the patient to take this drug at this dose, but you are not sure whether he's taking or not taking. He's saying that he has taken. But how can you maintain that compliance is the biggest question, though you have virtual kinds of things over here. I'm showing you something like a pill here and I'm taking, and you are assuming that I have taken the pill. That may not be a pill. That looks like a pill, right? So I'm showing it. It's looking similar, but you cannot evaluate in a virtual mode whether this is the right pill that he's taking or not. Whether it's a recorded thing that he's playing also, you will never understand that. Then proper use of drug. You have asked them to take 10 mg or 20 mg, they are taking extra or they are not at all taking. So this monitoring becomes difficult. And adverse reaction management. So patient is not aware what adverse events need to be reported, or he's not sure whether it's an adverse event by this drug or not. He may be thinking that I'm tired, so I have worked a lot, so my body is aching now. This might be or might not be because of the drug, let me not report. So if they are not reporting because of lack of education, lack of knowledge, we may tend to skip those kinds of signs or signals, and we may end up in a big disaster going forward, because we all know that drugs are not all drugs are safe. They come with some other adverse effects. So we may skip sometimes important events, and that may end up in trouble in conducting the trial or continuing the trial, because regulatory will be monitoring continuously. Then comes the storage conditions of the drug. We know that storage conditions matters a lot. If it is a controlled environment, if it is a clinical pharmacy, we maintain a certain temperature, certain cold temperatures or hot temperatures. We make sure that this drug has to be stored at this particular temperature. But if a patient is taking it back, we don't know whether he's putting under sunlight or not, whether they are storing it in a proper condition, whether the wall is wet, damp, right, next to that drug. We don't understand, where they are storing the drugs, the drug products. So that also affects the quality of the drug, and that may contaminate the product also. And then the drug accountability. So we never understand that we have dispensed 30 pills. How many of them have been consumed? How many have been left out? We can never understand with DCTs. Patient is reporting that he has taken all the 30, but we have not seen all the 30 consuming by him. So the accountability matters a lot over here. So what are the options? So if you could see the decentralized clinical trials, how they are meeting the patients where they are. So there are three types of DCTs. The first type is called as a fully decentralized. The second type is called as a hybrid, and then fully centralized. Fully centralized is a completely center based, where the participant is going to the center. Fully decentralized is patient is never visiting a site. Both are dangerous. If someone is not at all visiting the site, if someone is always at the clinical trial site, both are not working, because we have seen during the pandemic that we cannot travel to the site. We cannot, take the drug. We cannot get the drug dispensed. Transportation was a big closure over that particular point in time. So hybrid model is something that everybody is recommending, and most of the sites are now following a hybrid method, where it is less complex and it's in between whenever it is needed. For a surgical procedure, we cannot ask the patient to sit in his home. We come and operate, right? So the hybrid mode works really better in terms of whether a procedure needs to be conducted in case of emergent conditions, right? If any particular vaccines or particular injections have to be delivered, you need a specialized technician for that. And that definitely needs the participant to come and visit the site. So these are the three different approaches, but most of the trials are recommended to be hybrid, not completely decentralized, which is not yet into practice. fully centralized, no, we are not doing it because we have lots of technology that is coming into existence. Because of this technology, we are not running the centers on 100% physical mode, right? So what all we can make decentralized? The site activations. Site activation is nothing but checking whether the site is eligible to conduct the clinical trial or not. So with the data that we have in prior about the sites, we can identify that yes, they have all the required facilities inside, and we can activate the site. We can give a permission for this particular site to start the clinical trial at their facility. Then comes the patient enrollment. We can recruit the participants online through ads. We are seeing so many ads, right? The very same way we can run the ad and we can recruit the eligible participants. We can remotely monitor all their past medical conditions, their current lab reports and everything, and then conducting the study from homes. All these things can happen in DCT models. We can decentralize all these things. What are the trends now you could see post COVID crisis? You are seeing on my screen what are the departments, what are the patients that have affected, and what kind of sponsors have taken this into consideration on my screen. Little stats over here. And then let's try to understand the market analysis of DCTs. It was a $14.2 billion market in 2023, but we are expecting by 2035 it's going to reach $39.25 billion. You can just see the kind of rapid growth, double the growth, more than double. It's almost, triple the growth that's happening each and every year or over a decade span with 8.79 CGR scoring. And you all need to learn the technology. Being science background students, we keep the technology away, but you have to start liking the technology, because without laptops, without mobiles, now we don't have a life, right? So even clinical trials may vanish if you are not using the technology. So who are producing largest decentralized trials or the technologies? Are these companies from 2000, specifically post-COVID, they have started, and it's a very big market now. And we are expecting this also to reach to a peak stage by 2028. Science 37, Icon, IQA, Covance, Medable. Oh, you are seeing all these names on my screen. These are all the Oracle Clinical, right? Clinical Eye Inc. So these are all the companies that are Medrio. All these companies are working on these DCT technologies. They are producing a huge technology for conducting the clinical trials without any center. So with this, I stop my presentation over here. I'm expecting questions from the participants. I would be happy to answer their questions if any. Thank you so much. Sadaf, any questions? Organizers? Any questions?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your engaging and motivating session. Now, I would like to request participants to kindly post their questions in the chat box. Meanwhile, we are having the questions. Okay, one by one, I am just raising the question of the participants. The first question we have is it possible with current AI advancement to conduct clinical trials without human participants? And what are the scientific and ethical limitations of such an approach?
So it's on the technology front. Mujib sir, are you here to answer this? Mujib sir, are you here? Okay, let me answer this. Seems sir is having some network issue over there. Okay. So when we speak about the technology, you're writing the examinations, you're filling the online forms, right? So whenever we are doing anything online, anything virtual, anything using the technology, what is the reliability is the proof of concept that you have to provide. So as I have rightly mentioned, the biometrics of the participants is always important, that we are giving the right treatment to the right participant and checking back their old reports, the electronic health records, and checking with their primary physicians, their medical doctors, that this participant is really suffering with this kind of a condition. So cross verification is definitely needed. And with the use of technology, definitely we are trying to identify the right candidates for the right kind of a treatment. Yes, the challenges are there, but we are still trying to overcome it in the initial stages. And yes, it's helping us in at least, uh, pulling up people whom we are really looking at to some extent. Yes. They are really
Thank
reliable because we are following all the regulatory standards. We are not deviating from any regulatory standard. The cybersecurity, all these things we are following, and we are not collecting any information that is going to pose any threat to the participant.
Okay, ma'am, we have our next question. It is, how can agentic AI improve patient recruitment in clinical trials?
Yeah, agentic AI, as sir has mentioned, is an agent-based kind of a thing. Okay. Example, we generally see that bank manager is sitting in a specific branch, right? That may be any branch, and their agents are coming and collecting the requirements of your loan, whatever you wanted to take from the bank, right? A mortgage loan or a car loan or a home loan or a personal loan. They are reaching to you and they're getting your requirements, all the documents, relevant documents that they are asking from you, some, people to nominate you or to sign on your behalf, or some property or some gold, whatever it is. They're coming and checking the quality of it. They're checking all the documentation. Then they're going and submitting all this at the bank, right? These agents are going and, giving all this information to the bank, and then the bank is, distributing that amount in your account, that as a part of loan or something else. In the very same way, even clinical trials, these agentic AAs are, we are assigning some agents, the artificial intelligence agents, to share their work. So one part of, the agentic AI can look into your EHS, the other can, check your vital signs details, the other agent can also check your consent, whether you are willing to consent for this study. So they can, delegate the authorities by their own selves, and they can perform all the tasks together. So this helps us, not one tool is looking at every aspect, and it may miss sometimes. So we are dividing the tasks into small, tasks, and we are assigning some agent to it through artificial intelligence. And this agent is looking at that particular piece of information, and it is giving us a report that yes, this is true, this is not true, this needs to be verified more. We need more documentation to verify this angle. So you can go and ask for the remaining kind of a documentation that is required. Example, we have the past medical conditions. They said that I had asthma or I had some pneumonia. So when it has started, when it has ended, is it still continuing, right? You can ask for more laboratories or more imaging studies to check whether it's still ongoing or not ongoing. So these agents will do that task. Example I'm giving for your understanding purposes. Okay. So depending on the particular task, they will be deciding what role they have to play and how can they ensure the accuracy and the value of, or the quality of the information is given by them. So it's like we using all the five fingers. The hand is one, right? Agentic AI is like that. Combining together, it's, becoming one fist and giving you that grip.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now we have our next question. Is there any specific course tool that we have to learn? Please suggest our participants.
Okay. Before you could learn about any artificial intelligent tools or any kind of technologies, first make sure that your core is stronger. if I'm saying that you are going into your B pharmacy, what is the basic is your intermediate, right? Without completing your intermediate, you cannot take admission into your B pharmacy. So that is the basic. Even for using artificial intelligence systems, this is, artificial intelligence system is not something in the air. It is our intelligence that we are giving, not just one person's intelligence, multiple people's intelligence into one particular tool that we are giving it. So when we are doing all this, first we should be knowing what is right and what is wrong. So if we give garbage in, garbage out will come out. We have seen the robo movies and all that stuff. If you are giving the right command, right instruction, a right learning to the tool, it will be learning in a right direction. If you give a wrong feed, it will be performing in a wrong way. So first you should be strong with your core, your technical knowledge. With technology comes later. First, technically, you have to be solid in your, if it is pharmacology, you have to understand all the drug, all the mechanism of actions, right? What are the latest drugs and what they can cause. You have to understand your basics very well. If you're in analytics or regulatory, whatever may be your specialization, you have to have a good grip on your subject first. Okay, so what happens is, if I'm giving you a laboratory report, okay, two laboratory reports from two labs on the same sample, a CBP report, complete blood picture. So both are using different methods and they are mentioning the values over there. Until you identify what is the normal range, what is not a normal range, what is abnormal, abnormal but clinically significant. Sometimes 1 or 2 points here and there is still okay. You can control it, right? You can treat it. If it is going abnormal, if you're not understanding what is the normal range, what is the abnormal range, you cannot generally say that, this needs to be addressed or this doesn't need to be addressed. That knowledge is something that you have to gain in any of your subjects first. Then comes the technology wise. It's like anybody can access. Okay, so especially for life sciences students, we are such kind of a people. We don't write any programming code now. We are giving the logic, because the computer sciences people cannot understand what is the logic behind it. We have to give those logics to them, then they will be programming it at a later stage. So it is like a step-by-step learning that you have to focus on, not directly jumping into how can I write a code. So you can write a code, but if you're not inserting proper parameters inside it, that becomes a terror for the patient. Their experience would become horrible.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now we have our next question: the scope of agentic AI in pharmacy.
It's huge, definitely. See, because one person working on a one piece of task and 10 people working or 100 people working a delegated piece of task definitely makes a difference, right? I'm asking you to write your record. You're writing it. How many days you may take? I'm asking 2 people to share it. How many days it may take? I'm asking 5 people to take it. So now you are delegating yourselves that I'll be writing this piece, you will be writing this piece, right? So you'll be dividing the work into different parts of it, and you're combining all together, and all the 5 of you have to answer for the same questions, right? For all that entire record that you have to explain. So this is what Agentic AI is doing.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for answering all the queries from the participants. Now I would like to, ma'am, I request you to please, my screen sharing is disabled, so please allow me to share the screen so that I can share my screen. Or
Can you check now?
okay. On behalf of Divine College of Pharmacy and IPA, I would now like to felicitate Ms. Uma Priya ma'am for all of us today. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you once again for such an enlightening and thought-provoking session. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you everyone for this wonderful opportunity, and we are always open, and we welcome every one of you for the next level learning. Whatever possible from our end, we'll definitely do, and we'll impart our knowledge to all of you through workshops, webinars, conferences, and whatever way is possible. Within this stipulated 30 to 40 minutes of time, we try to give our best, and if given more time, definitely we are going to make you practice the things with hands-on scenarios, case scenarios on real world scenarios. How can you do it? Will be making you understand in a right way than interacting or online mode.
Thank you so much, ma'am. As we come to the conclusion session of today's webinar, now I would like to request our principal, Dr. Shambharit Goswami, sir, Principal, Divine College of Pharmacy, for extending a sincere gratitude. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sadaf ma'am. So today, Divine College of Pharmacy, in association with IPA Bihar State Branch, along with Clinosol Research, we have conducted a webinar on Agentic AI in clinical research. In this occasion, I want to thank our chief guest, Dr. R.N. Gupta, sir, National President, IPA, along with guest of honor, Mr. R.L. Bandopadhyay, sir, President, IPA Bihar State Branch, for your valuable time and blessings. I should thank our eminent speakers, Professor Mujibuddin Sheikh, sir, founder and CEO, Clinosol Research Private Limited, Hyderabad, along with Ms. Umapriya ma'am, co-founder and director, Clinosol Research Private Limited, because your insightful talk on agentic AI in clinical research, I think it was fruitful for our students, the faculty members who have joined in this webinar, because the speaker, Mujib sir, has traveled in India, enrollment and recruitment challenges, data management, AI, enhanced site section, patient recruitment, all those things. And agentic AI, on agentic AI, he has given highlighted systems capable of autonomous decision making, continuous learning, and multi-system coordinating clinical trials. So I am thankful to him, and I am thanking you, sir, because the busy schedule, you have taken your time and you have given a great lecture. Always you have given, and always you are associated with Divine College of Pharmacy. So on behalf of Divine College of Pharmacy, I want to thank you, sir. Our second speaker was Umapriya ma'am. She has given the lecture on decentralized clinical trials, innovation in patient-centric research. That was also very much fruitful. And in a fluent way, she has given the lecture on patient model, site model, sponsor model, and along with some advantages of decentralized clinical trials, challenges also. So I want to thank ma'am, because from your busy schedule, you have joined with us. There was some glitch in technical session initially, but we have recovered immediately. And hopefully the session was very grateful to all the participants. Thank you to organizing team over here, coordinator Mohammad Manan Ansari, our moderator Sadaf Salma ma'am, along with Dr. Neeraj Kumar Singh, Mr. Umar Yasir sir. And thank you all the staff who are associated with this webinar. And once again, thank you IPA to be associated with this webinar, and along with Clinosol Research to be part of this webinar. And a heartfelt thank you to our eminent speakers. Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your blessings and words. Thank you, sir.
Now I request everybody to attend Indian Pharmaceutical Convention at Calcutta, going on to be held on 14 and 15 March. I think you should promote to all your participants that they should attend Indian Pharmaceutical Association Convention at Calcutta on 14th and 15th March. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. There is IPA Annual Convention, Next Gen Pharma 2026. The theme is Next Gen Pharmacy Empowering Global Healthcare, Innovate, Deliver, and Practice. And it will be held in IIT Kharagpur Research Park, Newtown, Kolkata, 14th and 15th March of 2026. So all should be associated with this. Do the registration to attend IPA Annual Convention, Next Gen Pharma 2026. Thank you, sir.
One very useful talk, important, vital talk was given by Mrs. Umapriya. I have also enjoyed, and how she has answered the question, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.